Let's continue our discussion on the sources of primary data. The primary data may be collected in many ways, like observation method, interview method, collection of data through questionnaires, collection of data through schedules, and many more. So let's see the sources of primary data collection. It can be observation, it can be survey, it can be experimentation. The experimentation may be in many various forms, like a completely randomized design, randomized block design, Latin square design, factorial designs. Yeah, we see this in the coming session. So just overview. So the collection is made through questionnaires, in-depth interviews, focus group interviews, case studies, and experimentation, observation. So the primary methods may be interview method, questionnaire method, focus group method, projective techniques, Delphi techniques, and many more such things. So depending on different collecting agencies, they have defined the collection methods according to their convenience. So many forms are available about classifying the various types of collecting methods. Under observation method, broadly we have two ways. One is with intervention or one without intervention. So with intervention means the situation is being intervened by the one who is observing. Here the situation is well settled. So the one who wants to observe has made the study correctly and created the whole process, and accordingly the things are being done, and it is under controlled environment, and it is done in the laboratories. It's a systematic research, and a proper structure is built before doing it, so it's a structured observation. On the other side, without intervention, that means we are working in the natural setting. There's nothing like control, there is no structure on that. So it may be observation through intervention. That means the group is knowing that somebody is observing them, and they are asked to perform some particular set or sequence of tasks, and these are being observed, and the data is being collected. On the other side, without intervention, that's a normal natural setting. So the activities are going on under their own natural pace, under their own natural way, and nobody is controlling it. So it's done uncontrolled, and nothing to structure here. There's no intervention of the observer, therefore no structure is defined. So whatever is going on, the observer will just observe it and make note of it. So that's major two ways of observations. The observations may another way can be divided as a personal observation, maybe a mechanical observation, maybe an audit, maybe content analysis, maybe trace analysis. So various forms are available depending on the situation. Different forms are used. Other way, in a broader sense, if you want to say, observation may be a structured one, can be classified whether it is structured or unstructured using participation. So it can be the observer is a participant or non-participant of the activities going on. Looking at the settings or environment, settings may be natural or it may be contrived. Looking at the concealment, the observer may be disguised or undisguised. If it is disguised, that means the observer is unknown to the group that they are being observed. So this disguise can be either directly disguised or indirectly disguised. Mode of administration, according to that, observation may be defined as a personal mechanical audit, content analysis, and so on. So that's the overview, the broader way observations can be performed. The primary source of data, anything that gives direct evidence about the people, events, or the phenomena under the research. Primary sources will usually be the main objectives of the analysis. We look a bit detail what the experimentation is. So in this experimentation, we need to conduct experiment. For conducting experiment, we are trying to collect the data for our purpose. So for collecting data, we do some experiments, and these experiments may be completely random. So there is no structure in the experiment, so random design, or it may be randomized block design. So this was originally designed by agricultural research teams. So here several treatments of variables are applied to different blocks of land to ascertain their effects on the yield of the crop. So this was basically designed by the agricultural research. Here the land is divided into blocks, and each block different treatment is done, so we can find which treatment is getting better yield of the crop. So when we want to grow something, so we need one, seeds, two, environment, three, maybe pesticides or fertilizers, and so on. This whole thing primarily depends on the quality of the land. So first thing you need to know that the land is good for which type of crop. So one experiment is done on the blocks. Each block, a different crop is tried to grow, and then we decide which crop is better for that particular land. Second thing, we continue this experimentation for various other reasons, like which type of seed is better for this cultivation in the given land, and for that seed, what type of fertilizer is expected to give maximum yield, and then what type of problems this crop may come across, and what type of pesticides may be the best to control the pests and all that. So here, lot of computations, a lot of combinations are required. So make sure that everything is done in one shot. So here, each block contains many plots as number of treatments we are talking of. One plot from each block is selected at random for each treatment. Effect of various treatments are studied here. So it may be simply shown as this figure. So here we are talking about A, B, C, and D, four types of treatments, and they are just randomly put across the 4 by 3 blocks of the land. So 4 by 3 plots of the block. So that way you can understand the position and the treatment combinations. You can understand if A is in the beginning, what would happen, if A in the end, what would happen, and so on. But here the things are done randomly. So still we are not sure whether we get a better idea of this or not. So in order to improve that, we go for Latin square design, where the balanced way of two classification scheme. Each variable occurs only once in each row and column, so will not be disturbed if rows and columns are exchanged. Thus, the magnitude of error will be smaller than any other design. So it's how it looks like a 2 by 2 A B B A. So you can see that each column contains A and B both. Each row contains A and B both. So whether you go for 4 variable, then it is 4 by 4. So you can see A, B, C, D is there in each row occurring only once, and A, B, C, D all are occurring only once in each column. So this way what would happen is the row wise, column wise, if row is used for say a seed type and columns are used for say pesticide, then we can look for all possible combination of the fertilizer. So on the first row, one type of seed, second row, another type of seed, third row, another type of seed, and that way you can do. First column you can use for a type of fertilizer 1, 2, 3, and 4 column wise. And A, B, C, D are the various fertilizers used. So that way we can see all possible combinations. So in this, what would happen is A is there in each row, A is there in each column. So with that, what would happen is the all possible strata of the land are covered for each one. So if you say row wise, then if there is the land property changes row wise, then in every row once A is used. Same way, if it is changing say column wise, then in every column there is once A is used. So that way we can make sure that for all possible things uniformly all A, B, C, D, all treatments are checked, so that we get a most efficient way of doing this. So that's a Latin square way of working. So the same thing you can apply for all other activities when we are trying to collect the data for any particular situation. Other one is a factorial design, where allows more than two or more variables simultaneously, measure interaction effects, analyzes the impact of each variable. So here uh, the whole thing is used in 3 blocks, and we can see that A and B are the two types of one variable, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are other type of another variable. So we can see that all possible combinations are used. So A with 1, A with 2, A with 3, A with 4, A with 5, same way B with 1, B with 2, all are possible. So in this case, A, B, A, B, A, B, all are used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all are used. So same way, other on the other side, if you look at it, so we can work on all A's one side, all B's one side. So that way also we can do it, so that all possible combinations are taken care, and we get all possible results that will help us in solving the real-time problem. So that's it for now. Many more things to follow. Please do